Maybe we could switch this, change gears a little bit, and then go into a story time.
I think we have 1 gear only. But...
That's fine. Yeah, we are in fact speed limited to 45 miles an hour. Has anybody here watched North 100?
Yes.
The little magic podcast we do. So on North 100, we do a little section we like to call powerful magic.
Oh yeah.
So in which we just get really excited and we talk about a story in which things happen powerfully, both good or bad. Does somebody want to tell a powerful story about a meal they've had recently, either good or bad? Just it doesn't have to be too recent. It's just when you think of a really strong story about eating a meal.
I could tell you a story about a sandwich that made me cry.
There you go. Yeah, tell me about this story. Can we get the performance mic on, engineering? I want to hear about a sandwich so powerful it made Jeff cry. Wait, hold, stretch for time, and you're good to go. Tell us about the sandwich, Jeff.
Well, Surge. It went like this.
You can turn the performance mic on.
Oh, it's not on yet.
You have to turn off first.
Press the bottom on, for a few seconds until it comes on.
Yeah.
There you go. All right. How's that? That's a thumbs up. So, as I was saying, it was, I believe, PAX 2012, I want to say, and I went to the Tap House for dinner. Have you been to the Tap House in Seattle?
No, I haven't.
Yes.
It's great. And at the time, they had this beef dip that had this horseradish mayo, they called it, that they put on it. And I was so bowled over by this sandwich that I was literally weeping as I ate it. It was so good. I've never eaten anything that good since.
Really? Okay.
In fact, that experience stayed with me for weeks. I wrote a blog post about it. I thought about it all the time. I couldn't make it back to the Tap House that visit. And the next year, for like PAX 2014, I'm there and I'm like, immediately, first night, going to the Tap House.
Yeah, it makes sense.
It wasn't on the menu anymore.
No!
It was gone. They had a beef dip, but it wasn't the original beef dip. It didn't have like the same cheese.
Could it have been a dream?
Nope. There were witnesses to my eating this sandwich. Who told me that they wish they'd enjoyed anything in their life as much as they had seen me enjoy that sandwich.
A sandwich too good for this world.
Yeah, I had the perfect sandwich.
All right.
A sandwich for the ages.
Cool. So let's thank you for sharing. Let's pass it down to Andre, and I've got one to tell in the meantime as well. This story didn't happen to me, but it's a great sandwich story. So do you guys know the Italian Deli on Blanchard?
I haven't been though.
So they have a lot of great Italian food, sandwiches, meatball subs, and stuff like that. My buddy went in, and there's a large menu, and in a little sandwich board just written by the side, there was the word, "Have you tried the Supreme?" And my friend was like, "What's this?" And the owner came up, he's like, "Wait, you haven't had Supreme yet?" And he's like, "No, like this sign, it's not even on the menu." And the owner walks over and grabs some napkins and hands it to him. He's like, "What's this? Is it messy?" He's like, "No, these are for your tears." Wow. Wow. How was the sandwich? He was like, "Yeah, it was pretty good."
Yeah, nice. Nice. Does it have to be a sandwich?
No, just a powerful meal story.
Cool.
Okay, so when I was in university, I came out here from the Hat. I did college back home. So my first year here, the first full year that I did university here, I got a package from my mom. Every year, since as long as I lived at home, my mom always made me a chocolate chip zucchini cake for my birthday.
Oh,
it's
nice.
really delicious. So I got a package in the mail that my mom had frozen and then shipped me individually sealed cupcakes.
Wow.
That were chocolate chip zucchini cupcakes. She didn't tell me, she like, "Hey, did you receive something today in the mail?" I'm like, "Yeah, I did." And then I just opened them up and it was like, "Oh, it's the taste of home."
Yay! Powerful sandwich. Wait,
Powerful
that's not right.
cupcake.
Okay.
Beautiful story.
I have two stories.
Yeah, please.
I just don't know which one to. That's the trouble, right?
No, tell
Choose
both,
the left
'cause
one.
I think I've got another one.
We gotta
Okay.
start this giveaway soon.
Okay.
Okay,
Here's-
all right.
That's the
One more
giveaway.
story.
One
Yeah.
more story.
Okay, one more story. I'll pick. Is I want to tell the one where I was in Japan and it was great, but So my parents have the tradition with your wedding cake is you keep the top layer of your wedding cake. Generally, this is maybe an old tradition, and you put you wrap it up. You put it in your freezer, and on your first anniversary, you crack it open and you both eat it. You try to do that. I try to do that with Heather. She's like, I'm not eating it. I'm not eating our year-old wedding cake. I did because I'm like, I want to see what this is like. It was bad, but that's what it's like, right? It's one of those things that you do as a, whatever. So they have theirs, and my parents were like moving houses, and they said, hey, can you take some of this stuff? And I'm like, okay, cool, I will do that. And when I got it, I actually wanted to see what it was. So I looked at the first one, and I take this thing of these packages they gave me, these like wrapped packages, and it's like, it's wedding cake. And I'm like, because it's wrapped in really old like Woodward's shopping bags and stuff, and I'm like, oh my god. Well, okay, I can't believe they never ate this thing, but I'm waiting until their like 50th wedding anniversary. I'm gonna crack it out. But anyway, they gave me some other stuff, and I just put it aside because I'm like, this is just old stuff, like whatever. So then I returned all this stuff to them a couple years later because they had moved into their house, and we finally had an opportunity. I brought the cooler up, I gave them some stuff back, and that was fine. And then it was only like a year or maybe two later, whatever. But I gave their stuff back to them, and so. I came up to visit my parents for Christmas, and my mom says, so you gave us that stuff back? I said, yeah, you know what's in there, right? And she's like, yeah. I said, yeah, it's your old wedding cake. She's like, yes, you know what else was in there, right? And I said, no, I didn't bother looking at anything. She's like, that one of what I gave you, one of those slabs was a cherry cake that your nan, which is my mother's mother, had made for us. My nan had passed away about 3 or 4 months prior to them giving it to me.
Yeah.
And so I gave it back to my parents. We didn't know what this thing was. And my mother cracked it open she's like, what is this thing? She opens it up and she finds it and she's like, oh my god. And proceeds to make almond vanilla icing for it like she always does.
Oh.
And ices it. And we, a year after my grandmother's passed away, we all ate my grandmother's cherry cake.
That's really sweet.
It was out of nowhere. And yeah, I'm already like, I need to go eat other food because I could have been up all night. But that was so good. It was so good.
Oh, thank you, Beach.